SwoleBenji here. Today we're going to talk about the fastest possible dungeon clearing build that involves extremely high amounts of expensive gear and almost or complete maximum specs in your gear. And if you watch my previous video for newbies that relies on bolt casters, well, this build will save you about 15 seconds per dungeon floor. I know 15 seconds may not sound like much for investing about 70 million, but hey, 15 seconds, it might be worth it to you. Let's get into the build. You got 8-3 Stalker Hood with Mortal Agony and damage. You can also use a Spectre Hood for Flash of Insight and Balance Mind. Now, the Stalker Hood is for faster boss killing, and the Spectre Hood is for faster trash killing. Next, you have the Spectre Jacket, Self-Ignition, and Balance Mind. You have the Light Crossbow with the Explosive Bolt, Sunder Shot, and Exploding Shot with the passive Q reset. Leone Cape for the Q reset again. The Crypt Candle. Now, this item normally costs 50 million. This Spectre Jacket costs about 10 million. So, Royal Sandals with Defenseless Rush and Aggression. Now, also for trash clearing, you could swap to a Mace. And for that, you want to use Threatening Smash, Snare Charge for the Leap, and Deep Leap. And the passive, it doesn't really matter because mostly what's killing things is the Spectre Jacket. You would, of course, use that with the Spectre Hood as well. So let's show off the build. You're going to activate Spectre Jacket and then press F, and then you're going to press Q on the mobs as you run through them. And that's all there is to it. See how fast they die. You can also auto-attack them. Oh, and I forgot, you want to eat a cabbage soup so that you don't kill yourself. Unless you're into that. After you've cleared a couple of rooms, you deactivate your armor, and that's going to be on cooldown, and then you would just play the rest as you normally would. You press Q on the mobs, press E on the beefier mobs, and hit them with 1 Q. Now, I made a mistake just now, and I'm going to talk about it. The mob that I pressed E on places a mine on them that explodes in a big AoE. Then I Q'd that mob. Now, unfortunately, the Q killed the mob, and because of that, the E ability was not able to go off. But if the mob is left alive, the E will go off, and then you will be able to do max damage to the full pack while still moving. So our armor is off cooldown, so we can continue by just running through. And look how fast they die. I'm not even attacking them with anything. So that's a couple rooms. I'm going to deactivate it so its cooldown begins. So let's E the big guy, and then Q him once. And then he should almost be dead. A little more spec, and maybe Masterpiece, we would have killed them in 2 hits. Alright, so we are already on the 2nd floor. Let me show off what it's like to have maces instead. It's basically the same thing, you just you clear trash faster. That's all. So, I'm going to activate the armor and just run through. I'm going to leap on the big boys. Get the shrine up here, of course. I'm going to deactivate my armor and hope for a red or a blue. We got the blue, so now our abilities are now back up and available. If I had not deactivated my armor, I would have not gotten that cooldown, so... Just look how fast these mobs die. And then if you want to fight the boss, you just stand on the boss, hit him with Q. I actually have the wrong Q active, I believe. But it doesn't matter because the boss dies near instantly. So we're gonna go back to our light crossbow now, because this is what I mainly use. This has more reliable trash clear because you can E the mob and then Q them once. Like this crow here, we're gonna E it, try to line it up with this guy and then Q them, and they're dead. The armor does all the work, especially when you combine it with the boots. It does extra damage. So while you're shooting at one mob, you're just area of effect burning everything else. It's just so handy, so easy. So again, I killed that mob before the E goes off. Now the explosion will still go off, but it will do no damage. So let me show you how to fight a boss, okay? Normally you want to time it so your armor is available for the boss. But they melt so fast. Boss killing is faster with the light crossbow. And you may be thinking, well, why don't you use bolt casters? Because the E does way more damage. And the reason for that is the armor does the armor active does so much damage that you don't need any more damage. You need more trash clear. Like, your main focus should be clearing trash, right? Okay, so here's how it goes. You activate R, you activate your boots, you run up in melee range of the boss, sunder it, E, Q, Q, D, and it's dead. Now, you'll notice that its health got under half, and that's when I activated my helmet ability, which, combined with Sunder Armor, Sunder Shot, and Mortal Agony, it receives, like, negative... It's like negative 100 and 200 something armor gets shredded. And then you collect your loot, which this isn't a bad chest. And that's all there is to it. Now, again, like I said, the maces, when you put on a mace, this gives you 2 leap attacks. And, actually, yeah, they changed the maces a bit, so Threatening Smash is the proper one to use. Because we don't need the defense. So that's a big AoE, does like 800. You could spam it twice because we have the cape. You can leap, and when you're on fire, you know, you can leap again. And you're just fast, and you have more HP because you have the mace. And see how we have the food buff active? The armor is, we're still at full maximum HP. We're not losing any health at all. So we can run through this indefinitely. And then, I forgot to put it on, but if we had this helmet on, which, cool enough, your armor stays active as you swap items, we can activate it to activate our armor once again. So there we go, and then I can clear the next couple rooms. It's amazing for trash clear. You can dramatically speed up your trash clear. Your Elder Mace doesn't even need to be tier 8.3. We're only using this for the movement abilities. It's just 2 jumps, right? And this, if you get dived in a yellow zone dungeon because you're faction flagged, like I said in the previous video, you don't lose your loot, you don't lose your gear. And if you're an 8.3, you will melt people. Like if someone comes at you and they're not also an 8.3 and you're on fire, and you jump them with this, they can't move. Then you hit them with this, that's 1,000 damage, that's 2,000 damage, and then, oh wait, they can move, nope, now they're stunned. And they're burning for about 4,000 to 5,000 true damage. And then when you have the boots active, you're doing even more damage, and by the time they can even move, you've hit them with 3 Qs, you're full effect of your armor, they've been stunned and silenced, and rooted, and they haven't even gotten to start combat yet. Like, this is so overpowered. Like, if you want to go to, you can do this in Arena, but it scales down your IP. It's insane. There's no reason not to do this. But like I said at the start of the video, this requires extremely high spec and extremely expensive gear, okay? Your Spectre Jacket's damage is poop if it's not 8.3. If this is not 8.3, its damage sucks. And if it's not high spec in all of your armors, it sucks. Like, if you only have 100 spec in Spectre Jacket and only 1 spec in all your other leather jackets, then its damage is not nearly as good. This Crypt Candle is a huge chunk of damage, but it's also super, super expensive, okay? But yeah, this is the build to go if you want to just cream out your tier 5 yellows. And let's say you're like an Arch and you're running tier 8s, then this is still the build to go. This is the highest possible fastest clearing build in the game when you have the spec and the gear. Okay, so I'm SwoleBenji, thanks for watching. As always, be a bro, stay swole, make sure to return your shop carts. I'll see you in the next one.